Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean Realtor here. So today I want to talk about what it takes to become a real estate agent and what's the process is like, and some of the frequently asked questions, such as like, can I do part-time realtor, to what kind of brokerage or what's important, and pros and cons of becoming a real estate agent. Because I started this business in 2008 when everybody was leaving the business. Not everybody. The analogy at the time was like every new agent comes in, people ask, why are you going in? But 10 agents were leaving at the time because of the market crash in 2008-9. What it takes to become a realtor. So the first thing that the qualification is a real estate license in Oregon, and go to the .gov website, and it says you have to be 18 years old and you have to have a high school diploma, GED, or international equivalent. So if you graduated high school or have a diploma, you're ready to go. So you don't need a college degree, you don't need a master's or anything. It may help, but you don't need any of that. But you have to be 18 years old. So you can practice before 18, but until then, you cannot get the license. So the basic step is that you pay for about $300 in Oregon to apply for a broker license, and then complete about 150 hours of broker license pre-licensing education from the approved real estate schools, and that costs about $400 to $500. And I'll put a link below if you live in Oregon. Schedule exam, pass exam, which is national and state exam, both. You have to pass both. And then you have to pay a little bit more fee, I think a couple $100 to get fingerprinted and the background check. And then you can get the license. Now, when you get the license, you have to join a brokerage, because you cannot be solo agent from the day one. You have to practice as a realtor for like 3 years minimum in order to get a principal broker's license, which I have. Then I can be my own by opening up a brokerage. Even as a principal broker like me, if I don't open up my own brokerage, I have to belong to another brokerage. So I started at the Windermere Real Estate in 2008. I was there for 3 years. Keller Williams after that for about 7 years. And I own my own brokerage, which I started in 2019. Let's talk about one quick question here. Do you need a lot of connections? My answer is no. And I started the business in 2008. I didn't know that many people, but I've been doing it okay. So you don't need it. And in fact, there was one principal broker, I'm not going to say who or where, I was interviewing to join their company, and he said, well, are you from here? I said, no. Did you go to school here? I said, no. And he said, you're not going to succeed here as a realtor. That pissed me off. So yeah, let's talk about the process. When you're taking a test, I think the most important thing is you need to know. It's basically the regulations and laws that you have to know. That's mostly in the schoolwork. However, it doesn't teach you how to become a successful realtor at real estate school. It's kind of like odd. But you have to get the license, and you need to learn from your broker, your mentor or a coach, which is a whole other subject. But when you take a test, what I would recommend is do a lot of practice tests, because if you try to understand the textbook, which are like 7 different books, they're pretty thick. It's going to cover most of it, a lot of it. But becoming day-to-day real estate work, you need to learn at separate time. That's what I'm going to talk about, how to select a brokerage, who's going to be, or what kind of environment is going to be better for you when you first start, which is so important. So make sure to do a bunch of practice tests before you, and that's going to help you. Now, choosing brokerage, I think I'm going to touch on that after I talk about the structure of there's actually different types of realtors right now, because of the industry has evolved quite a lot. When people talk about real estate agent, you talk about solo agent, right? You belong to a brokerage, and then you're commission based, and you work for sellers, buyers, and you do all of that by yourself. And that was, to me, that was a more normal thing. But as the business got complicated, there's different competitions. What ended up doing, what the successful agents started doing, is to build a team. When you have a team, then you can have multiple people that you can assign different tasks or in this case, like showing agent who go out and show a bunch of properties, but then the buyer's agent who is going to then write an offer, and then there's like office admin person who's going to take care of the paperwork and the process, and then there's like team lead who's going to oversee all of that. And then there's a listing agent who only deals with the sellers. Joining a team is one option when you join a brokerage, or you can start as a solo agent from day one. Now, which one is better? There's a different school of thoughts. Pros of solo agent: becoming your own agent, meaning you're going to become showing agent, buyer's agent, listing agent, and then the contract manager and all of that. I mean, that's how you're going to learn the whole business more, broader way. However, when you join a team, then you may actually learn like becoming a great showing agent. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's going to be limited income and limited activities, and you're not going to know about these buyer's agent, listing agents, transaction coordinators work. Now that's going to limit your growth. So to me, I think solo agent is a good if you can have a great mentor who can show you everything. I mean, because there's so many different possibilities and so many different things that could happen in real estate transaction. If you don't have a good mentor who you can go and ask as you're going through a deal, some things happen, you're not going to know the answer. So you need to be able to get that answer right away. And if you don't have that good support system, and I think that's one of the most important things. Let's talk about being a solo agent. The pros are you get freedom and you take home more cash, more commission, and you have to learn a lot more. The cons could be that since you have to generate your own leads, meaning like sellers and buyers, the context who says I need to sell, buy, or invest, you have to take care of that. That's probably the one that takes most time. The pros of being in a team is that they may actually support you with basic knowledge or the specific knowledge in your role, and they may offer some leads. They may not. So you have to kind of look into that. You take home less. You may not get as flexible hours or work situation, but you have to kind of decide. So if you decide on whether you want to start as a solo agent, that you are willing to learn a lot in the beginning and not make a lot of money. Team agent, in the beginning, you may not make a lot of money either. But let's talk about making money. I think this is an important topic because you may not make any money for 6 months to 12 months, depending on how you do it, how much time you do it, what kind of mentorship you have, how you're going to lead gen. So it's important to have some savings for at least 6 months, because if you are banking on that commission check you haven't even earned to pay the bill in 2 months, you may not be able to start right, meaning then you are in it for quick bucks, then you may not do the right things. And I think that's really important because we have a really high failure rate. There's a lot of agents coming in, but like any other business, but realtors, I think we have a higher failure rate because there's so much you have to learn in the beginning without making money. So it's kind of like how long can you sustain without any making money to learn all of these things. Having savings for 6 months, I think is super, super crucial. And then connecting with the right mentorship, or in this case, the right brokerage, is again very important. What's good about becoming a realtor? So let's talk about that fun part. A lot of people think that you get the freedom, you set your own hour. True. Can you work as a part-time? I covered that in the beginning. Yes, you can. Great part is you basically sell the highest price ticket item that people buy or sell, which is a house. The compensation, the commission can be very, very good. And then you get to meet cool people and then become their advocate because you help them save money, buy them great house, or sell their homes and make a lot of profit for them, or help them buy their investment property. And then other pros is that because you're independent contractor, anything business related, you can deduct expenses. So my car is pretty much like deducted by because I use mostly for the business. this camera equipment, which I'm making videos to share my information to buyers and sellers, computer. I don't think I did it on my watch, but you get the idea. Phone, obviously, you need a phone to do business, so you get to deduct a lot. The cons are, as I mentioned, there's a high failure rate, and then if you start in the wrong way to just make quick bucks, you're not going to learn enough to compete or do the right thing. So as long as your motivation is good, you're in the long run, you're going to learn enough for you to earn your client's trust to do the right thing instead of for quick buck. To the downside is that you do have to have that reserve for 6 months to 12 months, I think. And the other downside is that the income can be very inconsistent. Some months I don't make any money, even right now. The other months I sell several deals in a month, and that's a great month, and you can make lots of money, in my book at least. And then one downside could be flexible. That means the con side is that you have to work odd hours. Meaning sometimes I have to stay up until like 11 p.m. to write up an offer. Sometimes I gotta show a property in the morning, Saturday morning, or Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Monday night, Monday morning. So you get the idea. Depending on the client's needs, I mean, you have to be flexible. So that could be downside if you like set schedule. But the way I approach it is that because I have to work in very different hours at different times, I set aside my own time at different days, different time for my own sort of like Sunday time. So, since I've been doing it for over a decade, I don't mind going to show home, Sunday afternoon. That's a great time. But like morning times, I just set aside like a weekdays morning times. I set aside for myself. I just do my things. It balances out. Now, choosing a brokerage, I think this is one of the most important things, possibly more than getting a license and all of that, because that's pretty easy. Choosing brokerage is where there's a lot of different fee structure, meaning the company takes more money or less money, but they give you more support or less support, more mentorship or less mentorship. And if I simplify this as much as I can, you don't want to go into like salary-based, kind of lower mentorship. I can't say that because I haven't joined them, but the big companies with a lower fee structure, because they either go online or it's a salary-based, or online meaning they don't have the actual office, that everything's online based, and because of that they can charge less. Cautious of those brokerages in the first couple of years because there's so much to learn. When you have a deal going, you're under contract and you're negotiating and you don't know the answer, and if you can find that answer right away because you don't have a mentor, then you are going to have a really tough time. At the same time, the lead generation part, there's so many different things that an experienced agent who is willing to share with you is going to be tremendous. I mean, it's going to be possibly more important than brokerage. I guess all I'm trying to say is don't try to save money on the brokerage and take on money. Just go for the most mentorship, the best mentorship, whether it's an individual agent or whether it's a company has a great education system, and then education on top of that. So, I mean, down the road, you can pay for coaching programs. Those are expensive. I mean, anywhere between $100 a month to as expensive as $5,000 a month coaching programs out there. But that's until, you shouldn't even consider that, because certain brokerages who's going to charge you that money, let's say $10,000, $20,000 a month, $10,000, $20,000 a year, they should provide that. But there's a separate coaching programs out there. So the most important is find the best mentorship and the most education system is available, whether it's individual agent who's going to take under their wings or the great brokerage with great education system. Whew. I think I covered quite a bit here. So I think it's a great career if you are looking for a new career. Yes, you can do part-time. Yes, you can make a lot of money. You can set your own income level. You can work as hard as you would like, or you can just do just a little bit to meet that your income goal. There's a lot of pros. And then there's some cons too, but I think it's a great career, especially when you learn how to price homes, to learn how to negotiate and help people who are needing help. And when you get a gift from your clients, it's like, wow, that I did a good job or a great job for them to send me a gift. The other day I got a gift which is like a beer of the month. I'm like, wow, I like beers. And when I got that, like, dang, I must have done something right. So it makes my day and months for sure. If you're watching, Faith and Devon, thank you again. Yeah, so if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to answer as much as I can. And if you like this, give it a thumbs up. And thanks for watching it. And check it out. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.